Okay, so like I was saying, the needle should glide. Okay, it should glide and it should slide. So after doing this side and seeing the wound, I thought, um, I don't know if this is such a good idea because I went in pretty deep, and it made a wound, and that's what needles do to your face. You're actually damaging the skin in order to encourage new cell production, new plasma. The platelets all rush in to heal that wound. So you're encouraging collagen production, you're encouraging brand new skin to be made right there on the spot. So when I got to this side, I said, okay, I'm going to lower the needle so I can have a comparative study. So I lowered the needle and I did this side on much lower needle. And I basically did the same thing in the corners and everything I did around the whole eye socket. And so this side got a good working, let's just put it that way. It was more like sort of a micro needling type of situation. I did have the pigment on there, but the pigment did not go in because my needles weren't in deep enough. So this side is still an improvement from where I started, because even if you just microneedle around your eyes, you're going to encourage new growth of cells. The color has improved. It's more full. This side looks like I got filler, actually. If you can see that, I don't know if you can see because the light's kind of bright, but this side actually looks like I got filler, which I think is really impressive. I didn't get filler. I'm not gonna inject myself with filler because I would need to practice first, and I am considering PRP and practicing with that because that's your own platelet rich plasma, and it comes from inside your own body, so you can learn how to inject yourself using that. I think that would be the safest way. Obviously researching, studying anatomy, and making sure you don't poke into any foramens or any arteries or big veins or anything like that. But yeah, so that's basically it. I want to start making more videos about health and beauty things because I find that I don't always find the information that I'm looking for online. This was very difficult for me to pull it together in my mind that, okay, I'm going to have to do this on my own because I'm not getting the information. I even bought a book um, about permanent makeup. I bought a permanent makeup book, and she talks about the eyebrows and the eyeliner and the lips, but she doesn't say anything about concealer. She does talk a little bit about camouflaging and skin, but she doesn't tell you what needles to use, like how deep the needle should go. She doesn't talk about any camouflaging on the face. So she's talking more like medical camouflaging for people with burns and big stretch marks or stuff like that, because you can cover over all that stuff using these pigments. If you go into the salon to get this treatment under my eyes that I'm doing myself, I think it's like $500 an eye or something like that, and it's the same thing, I think, with filler as well, and it lasts you a year to 2 years or something like that. So it's pretty pricey. I think it's worth it just to learn how to do these things at home. Just want a quick word about Aftercare. I got this. This is tattoo goo, and this has some botanicals and stuff in it that help to um, help facilitate the healing process for your skin after you've had a tattoo. Um, so I use that. I also use more aloe. I'm using aloe constantly because moisture is very important. You have to have a lot of moisture, especially under the eye area, because the skin will get kind of dry and crepey if you don't keep that moist. A word about hyaluronic acid. I do have hyaluronic acid, and like I said, this booster has some hyaluronic acid in it, and I did try a little bit of this, and hyaluronic acid will dry out your face if you're not in a humid environment. So you want to make sure that if you're, say, indoors with the heater on, don't use hyaluronic acid. If you're anywhere where it's just dry heat, don't use hyaluronic acid because it can dry your skin. What it does the reason that people love it so much is because it pulls moisture. It does moisturize your skin. It pulls moisture in from the environment, however. So you have to make sure that your air has a lot of moisture in it. So I'm in here, I've had the humidifier on, and it's really nice and humid in here. So yeah, if you have any questions or suggestions, please let me know. Like I said, I'm not a tattoo artist, and I do have a friend who is, and I'd like to know more about pigment, and how it stays in the skin and whatnot like that, because this is all just brand new to me, and I find it very, very interesting, and I'm very excited to see the transformation of my face, because I'm gonna, like I said, do this side just like this side and do this side again, because what they do in the salon, you actually get several treatments. So I'm gonna do several treatments until I don't have this hollow appearance anymore. And a big part of the reason I have this hollow is because I did something else that wasn't for black skin, and that was that has to do with a plasma pin, and you make little burns, and it's like an eye lift. Like it tightens because you're burning, you're wounding your skin, and then it scabs over, and the scabs fall off, and it tightens, and it did that. It did what it said it was going to do. It was like a little, a bit of an eye lift for a little while there. But for black skin, which is prone to hyperpigmentation, it wasn't really a great idea for me to do that, because this whole area got hyperpigmented. You can see all around. I've always had dark circles to some extent, but this is like over the top. Like, that's not natural. So